Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. As you can tell from the title, today's video is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be me talking about my retirement, my thoughts, and what led into that, including the future and my new team, Squishy and AJ, which is a content team. I know it's confusing, retirement and new team in the same title. But yeah, I'm going to be playing some gameplay from a First Killer and LJ scrim that I had. The only one I have saved on this computer for some reason. So let's get into it. All right, guys, I don't know what take this is at this point, but I've had to restart quite a few times because I keep messing up the timeline or forgetting to include something. But before we get started, this scrim against Andy, Zanil, and Gyro, I'm very biased in the 2 games I picked because I thought I played good in them. This series ended up being, I think we won by 1 or 2 games max. It was a very close series. These guys are really good. But yeah, one of my trials with First Kill and LJ, which was a lot of fun, and I'll get into that in a second. But yeah, this is going to be probably a little confusing just because the timeline is at this point a little hard for me to remember, and there was just so many mixed emotions. See why I put the replay. There's so many mixed emotions going into deciding to retire, but to start it off, heading into the off season, I thought I'd be trying to do what I did last off season, which was the first time I ever built a team from scratch. Every team I had before was an iteration of the original Energy roster, which was so easy. You know, the moves were always obvious, or, you know, Fireburner retired and we made a move, or, you know, it was just always straightforward. Building a team from just me was something that was hard. It was really hard to know, honestly, like, kind of who was actually motivated, who to put your faith in. You know, you're kind of, when you pick a teammate, you're trusting that they're going to be a good teammate. You know, obviously when they want the spot, they're gonna, you know, everyone's just saying what you want to hear, etc. But it's something I definitely failed at, to no fault of the players. I mean, I think all the players we had were very, very talented. You know, Frosty, I think the team he joined after us was way better for him, for example. You know, I think Aqua will go on to be talented. Everyone was talented. I think everyone can succeed, just with different teams. But yeah, going to this offseason, not something I was necessarily excited to do again. I was obviously motivated to try to get the best outcome and best team possible, but definitely something that was a lot more stressful than it was exciting for me at this point. And that's how I've felt over the last couple of years. There's a lot more negative feelings with competing compared to positive ones, and it's not actually playing the game. It was everything that goes around it with the team. You know, everything, all the comments or whatever, the stress, whatever. It just kind of added up for me to be a very stressful experience over the last couple of years, which has always been a very stressful experience, to be honest. Even when we were winning the most, I still felt a lot of pressure at all times. But the lands made it worth it. You know, going to lands, seeing everyone playing on a stage, that's what made it worth it for me, and that's what got me hooked in the beginning. And as you can tell, you know, I haven't been making very many. It's just so hard, and there's less spots, there's less lands in general. You know, coming from you know, years I've had where there was like 9 or 10 events and so many chances to make them, to now it's just a lot different. You know, so with that, I was still doing tryouts. We almost signed Talk, just like a fun fact. We were trying to sign Talk, had some contract issues, so we kind of put it off. But yeah, Talk was almost signed to Energy. And then I knew this was always a possibility because I knew that it was sounding like both First Killer and LJ were going to be free agents. Same with G2, you know, Beast Mode, Atomic, and Daniel. And that just had to do with the decline of the esport in general, and orgs leaving, and orgs wanting to lower their salaries, you know, and opting for a little bit maybe worse teams or just cheaper teams. I knew it was a possibility, but ended up finding out a couple days before it got leaked that Energy was potentially moving in that direction, which at first it was with First Killer and LJ. It might still be, not to leak anything. But yeah, obviously when I heard that, I was shocked. I was upset for a couple days just because, you know, I've been on the org for so long. It's something I've never heard before, something I've never had to deal with, you know, never been fired, which I wasn't at the time. It was just a possibility, so nothing was set in stone. And obviously Energy said they were going to try their best to get me into that spot, or like a tryout, which I would have preferred. I never wanted to be thrown into the spot without earning it, just to say. I would have not liked that. But yeah, a couple days into hearing about that, very surprising feeling hit for me. I was relieved. I was super relieved. It felt like a lot of weight had been lifted off my shoulders, because even with recent results, it felt like the expectations never changed. and I don't know why. I think it was just the brand, you know, energy and stuff like that. And obviously, my perspective is going to feel a lot worse than how it is. But I was very relieved, and that was a concerning feeling for me because at the time I didn't necessarily want to retire. But I remember Fireburner said it's not like a decision for most people. I feel like it's not like a slow decision you lead up to. It's something that, like, when you know, kind of know whether or not you decide to play after that. When you know you'd be okay with retiring. I think that's what makes it a long decision sometimes. But for me, it was like, okay, if I'm feeling this way, you know, maybe it's time to not play. Because when I thought about what I'm missing out on in terms of current results, I'm not missing out on much. You know, I'm not missing lands. Still love to play, but you know, with the current format, you play an open qual, which is really stressful. And then if you're not top 8, you play one day. You play the regional for one day, you know? So not like I'm missing out on that much. But still, that wasn't even the biggest reason why. It was really the feeling of stress, and how I felt so relieved after finding out, after being upset for a little while. But then I did find out that I was getting a first killer LJ tryout, and the stress like instantly came back. Like I instantly felt the same before. But I was also excited. Like, it's a cool opportunity to play with these two guys. Like, they're so good. They're so good. So even though I felt like the percentage of me getting the spot was very low, I was like, yeah, I'll try my best. I'll take it. And it was a lot of fun. I did better. I think we did better than I thought we would. Probably better than they thought we would, to be honest. And however, I did know I was not the player they were looking for. I think that, you know, these two guys, they want to be G2. You know, they want to have 3 guys who are insanely creative. Not to even talk bad on myself. I'm just not that kind of player. You know, I feel like I'm more of a, you know, you want to try to build like a BDS. You know, I feel like that's always been my playstyle. I think I'm a lot safer than a lot of these players are, and that's been the hardest thing for me to adapt to, is being more aggressive and being consistently aggressive. Because I think I can have peak moments, you know, like anyone, but that's not what being a great pro is. It's consistently doing these things that are hard to do, and for me, that was playing really aggressive. I mean, all my teams for a long time have been very defense-heavy teams, and that's just always how I've played. That's been the hardest thing for me to break out of, and so yeah, I kind of knew I wasn't the player they were looking for, but obviously, if they gave me the spot, I would have been like, absolutely, I'll be there. But a small part of me almost didn't want it to happen, because I know the stress I would have felt would have been insane. It's so hard to win nowadays, and if we didn't win, I knew I'd be the guy, you know, taking the blame for that one, which would have been fine. Not even from them, even if from them, it would have been fine. But like, you know, just from fans and stuff like that, which at this point I'm used to. But it just sounded like, you know, why the stress, you know, when I'm already feeling this way. But like I said, if they gave me the spot, obviously would have said yes. But the timeline with that, I had a few scrims. I think it was like, I don't know if it was a week or 2 weeks into it. I wasn't even accepting other scrims outside of a few, just because for me it was like either this team or I'm done. Because it didn't feel worth it, especially to leave NRG. You know, I love this org. Been on this org since I was 15. Really didn't want to leave NRG. Being a co-owner for a year now as well, like, I'm not gonna, I just didn't want to leave. But 2 weeks in, you know, the more I thought about it, the more I talked to family and stuff like that, I felt like stepping down from competing professionally was just the right move. Especially, I want to go to school. You know, that was always my goal, was to go to school. Rocket League just kind of happened, and I just kind of rode the journey, you know, for as long as I could. It ended up being way longer than I thought it was going to be in the beginning. I thought maybe a couple years when I first did it, and it's almost been a decade. So I've had my time, you know, I've had a lot of good memories. I've got to go so many places. You know, probably a lot of events happened before you guys started watching. I feel like a lot of you guys are from free to play, but I've had a great experience, you know, and I'll still be playing. But yeah, so a couple weeks in, I tell the general manager that I think I'm just going to retire. You know, not something I really want to pursue anymore with this team. And this is the part where it's funny, because he ended up saying like, oh shoot, yeah, 2 days ago I was supposed to tell you that they're going to go a different direction. I was like, well, you know, that works out then. I just thought that was really funny. But yeah, so ended up not getting the spot / I don't know. technically I didn't get the spot before I decided not to want the spot, but whatever. So yeah, so after that, I was really happy with the decision. I still am now. That was over a month ago now. It's been a while. And I've just been kind of waiting for the announcement to come out. Energy wanted to make a video, so I flew out, did the video, and then went home for Thanksgiving, and then flew out for the new team announcement. So that's why the content's kind of been lacking. Just a lot. Traveling takes a lot out of me. But yeah, I'm happy that announcement is out. If you haven't watched it, make sure to go watch it on the Energy YouTube video. I think I said that in the intro, but I'm not 100% certain. And yeah, so moving on to the future. I'm teaming with Squishy and AJ. I know it's confusing, but it's going to be a content team. We're not scrimming. We're just going to be streaming the events. So I think it'd be really cool if we can make one and stream our POVs. And yeah, I'm going to be focused on content. I'm still going to be playing the game a lot. I love this game. I'm addicted to it. And trying to make content and streaming and posting more often. Hopefully I can stick to that. You know, it's been something I've struggled with forever. And that really was because of competing. For me, it was like, if I'm not winning, you know, I can't spend time entertaining. Like, it felt like I wasn't taking it serious enough, which was a terrible mindset. It's not true at all. It's just how I always felt. It's how a lot of pros in the beginning felt, to be honest. And I just always kept that mindset. But that's why I've always respected like Jack and Squishy. You know, they're really good at doing both. Obviously Squishy's retired now, but always good at doing both. And something I've always really enjoyed. I just was really bad at doing anything, really honestly anything in my life other than focusing on competing. You know, never really took vacations, never really took breaks, which is not good. Like, I'm not even flexing that. Like, I wish I would have been better at time management and just, you know, having fun sometimes and enjoying the events and all that stuff. But I think I'm just a very high stress person when I'm in a, you know, high stress situation. So yeah, I'm excited for the future. I hope you guys stick around and hopefully I can, you know, have some good content for you guys, and I'll try to stay up to date. You know, I still play a lot. And I think I included everything this time. Hopefully I didn't forget anything. But yeah, I guess this is a good time to wrap up this video because we're getting to the end of this game. Yeah, appreciate you guys. It's been a good journey. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.